10 NBA predictions that we all got totally wrong this season. The Warriors won't get better. Don't pretend like you saw this coming. Most of us scoffed at the idea of the Golden State Warriors topping the 67 wins they tallied during the 2014 and 2015 campaign. Hell, Golden State underestimated itself. Hopefully 68, Klay Thompson said in August when asked how many games the reigning champs would win. Per Diamond Leung of the Bay Area News Group, the Warriors notched their 68th win of 2015 and 2016 on March 30th, with 7 games left to play. Barring an injury to Stephen Curry or Draymond Green, they are going to win at least 73 games, breaking the 1995 and 1996 Chicago Bulls record for the most regular season victories in league history. Maybe you thought Golden State would get better, even though past champions implied otherwise. Perhaps you envision this team as overwhelming favorites to repeat as NBA champions. Most of us, if not all of us, didn't predict this. The Warriors are not only the best team in the association, but the best team ever, period. Rudy Gobert is runaway favorite for Defensive Player of the Year. After trading Enes Kanter to the Oklahoma City Thunder last season, the Utah Jazz posted the best defensive rating in the NBA, and it wasn't even close. And they were somehow even better with Rudy Gobert on the floor. The 7'1" man-child, affectionately known as Gobzilla, would go on to finish second in block percentage and defensive box plus minus DBPM, the latter of which measures how many points per 100 possessions better the average defensive team is with a given player on the hardwood. Visions of multiple Defensive Player of the Year awards dance through the heads of those who watched Gobert play. Those premonitions have since been dashed with strong doses of reality. Gobert has missed 20 games in 2015 and 2016, most of them due to a sprained MCL on his left knee, and while the Jazz ranked 9th in defensive efficiency, that's rather disappointing given last year's uprising. Utah has improved on the less glamorous end since the All-Star break. The team ranks 3rd in points allowed per 100 possessions, behind only the Atlanta Hawks and San Antonio Spurs. Gobert even owns a top 5 block rate and DBPM once again, but the Jazz have not been stingy enough for long enough to prop up their big man ZPOY case. Gobert's extended absence didn't help matters either. He has very much become a DPOY afterthought. Bucks defense. Last season, Milwaukee's Bucks finished 2nd in defensive efficiency, just behind the league-lording Warriors. Signing Greg Monroe and welcoming back Jabari Parker, 2 defensive liabilities, inherently drove down the value of this swarming barricade. But things weren't supposed to get this bad. Milwaukee ranks 21st in defensive rating and is allowing more than 6 additional points per 100 possessions than last season, and that's after a substantial midseason turnaround. The Bucks fell inside the bottom 3 of defensive efficiency before the new year. No one solution has presented itself. The Bucks ran middle of the road in most individual categories and are among the league's best when it comes to defending pick-and-roll ball handlers and rollmen, the foundation of any stronghold worth its sodium. Inconsistent rim protection and off-ball prevention has plagued Milwaukee more than anything else. Head coach Jason Kidd has tried searching for the right lineup combinations to no avail. Effective defensive units are dodged by a lack of offensive polish, another area in which the Bucks cannot afford to make sacrifices. Expect this roster to undergo a noticeable facelift over the summer. The Bulls are a good basketball team. Had someone told you the Bulls, counter to preseason projections, would take a massive setback in 2015 and 2016, you would have bristled or attributed the contrarian demise to an injury surplus. Injuries, to be sure, haven't helped. Joakim Noah is done for the season. Mike Dunleavy's crusade didn't begin until February. Jimmy Butler and Nikola Mirotic have missed extensive time. Taj Gibson recently fractured his ribs, per Nick Friedel of ESPN.com. And Derrick Rose, though one of Chicago's durability success stories, has battled through ankle, hamstring, and knee issues. These setbacks, however, don't even begin to explain the Bulls' problems. Chicago has less than a 15% chance of making the playoffs after being portrayed as one of the primary threats to the Cleveland Cavaliers' Eastern Conference throne. Rookie head coach Fred Hoiberg was supposed to reinvent the offense for the better. The Bulls instead dwell on the bottom 5 of offensive efficiency, situating themselves just above the Los Angeles Lakers, Philadelphia 76ers, and Phoenix Suns. The NBA's premier tire fires. On top of all that, Chicago may now be open to trading Butler, the franchise's lone cornerstone, over the offseason, according to the Vertical's Chris Mannix. The mere sentiment of moving him 1 year after handing him a max deal is tragic comedy. Show me someone who saw all of this coming, from the plunge through the standings to Butler's stay on the rumor mill, and I'll show you a liar. The Rockets are contenders. Smart peeps always knew, on some level, the Houston Rockets were unlikely to repeat as Western Conference finalists. Golden State still existed, San Antonio won free agency, Oklahoma City brought back a healthy Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka, Houston automatically dropped down a peg or 3 without incurring any major personnel losses. Still, Bleacher Report's own Josh Martin thought the Rockets would win 56 games. The folks over at ESPN.com also had them securing 56 victories and finishing 2nd in the Western Conference. Houston sits under .500 and is fighting for its playoff life, scrapping and clawing with the Dallas Mavericks and Jazz for one of the West's final 2 slots. Though the offense has improved statistically, it remains entirely too reliant on James Harden. He has used up more isolation possessions than 8 teams. The defense, meanwhile, ranks 22nd in efficiency one season after checking in at 6th. Forget about a championship. The Rockets are contending for something different, the right to suffer a first-round exit at the pleasure of the Spurs or Warriors. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please consider liking it, commenting down below, and subscribing to our channel to not miss any of our future uploads. Goodbye!